Okay, I'm gonna call Frankfurt Redevelopment Commission to order. Roll call, please.
Joe Palmer,
Present.
Chris Votter,
Present.
John Virtue,
Present.
Eric Woods,
Present.
Jeremy Newcomer,
Present.
Bud McQuaid.
And I noticed on here that the minutes are not on there. I didn't catch that till now. So if everybody had a chance to look at the minutes, there's two sets
Yeah, we've got two sets. I make a motion to approve those sets of minutes from the work session and the regular meeting.
as presented, right?
Yes.
Second.
I have a motion, a second, to accept the minutes as presented. That's for March 26th and also March 19th. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, minutes passed. Okay, was there any public comment out there? I don't think so. It's only you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna change up the schedule just a hair. I had number 3 at public comment, number 4 claims. I'm gonna give Kimberly Black a 3.5 spot in there on the agenda. So she needed to be first because she's got another meeting she has to get to too, so.
Well, thank you. The Boy Scouts this evening will appreciate me showing up to help them out the door. Wanda, if you want to take these. So, last week or the week before, I just wanted to give an update. We posted the summer concert series, Downtown 2 Nights, and Movies in the Park. So that's kind of the packet that you have, there. And then, the other conversation I've had with Mayor Sheets, we are looking for assistance with the TPA Park basketball courts. Pricing just continues to rise. We have a $74,000 project that we would like to put in new asphalt, goals, new fencing and line striping. And here's pictures. I can kind of show you what the goals or the courts look like. There are different pictures, Wanda, so you can just pass the whole packet around. We've had quite a few quotes come in from different asphalt companies, and they believe, and I am kind of in agreement with them. We don't have an idea when the asphalt was actually laid for these courts, but they are thinking they're at least 20 years old. And the park over the last 3 to 5 years has worked on patching cracks, trying to make it a facility that kids will safely be able to play basketball, and we are at the point now that it is past the point of return. And the mayor couldn't be here tonight because she's at the scouting event as well. So we have a quote for $44,000 for new asphalt for 2 official size courts at TPA Park. They're part of Kings Court. If you drive by, they're pretty busy on a normal night. And so we are asking to hopefully partner with the RDC on this project and see if this quality of place project would be feasible or something you guys would be wanting to do. We are currently taking sponsorships for some of the goals and naming rights of the courts, just to kind of get some local camaraderie around the basketball courts. But unfortunately, it's kind of like the tennis courts. When we had the tennis courts, they were past the point of repair. The basketball courts are slowly right behind them. So.
Did you say the total project is 70 though?
$74,150.83. You know me and my Excel sheets.
I'm gonna be a little bit of a wet blanket there.
Yeah.
Kimberly. I think we have several things coming up expense-wise for the city that's gonna be very appropriate from an economic development standpoint.
Mhm.
request of the RDC. That being said, I would probably personally shy away a little bit from a singular park project, knowing that we already support as an RDC, the Prairie Creek Park operations so much. But that's all a balancing act. So I personally, I would favor asking the RDC to pay for things that I think are gonna be a little bit more holistic on our economic development side that we're gonna struggle with as a city to pay. And then that would allow us to find money in other places to move over some capital expense programs like this. Again, just my feelings on individual programs.
And we've all got one.
Have you had any takers on the sponsors from community partners?
We have, Crawford Fencing has kind of done it as a in-kind donation towards fence cost. NHK has, and then it's been smaller sponsors from there.
But
So
people have.
it's kind of a nickname, King's Court, for a long time. I don't know where that started from, but
I will add, I mean, Eric, I understand Eric's
You don't do
statement. I also look at TPA Park also as one of our major influences for future prospects coming to the city. So I think we need to make sure it at least looks good too, so. But that's just me.
No, that's just their proposal.
Yeah,
You gotta see that, didn't you?
I'm not sure what that is.
That's facade green.
I better not be getting sick again. I'm coughing today.
What'd you say again the cost was?
44,000 would be for the asphalt for both basketball courts in TPA Park.
You say 44,000?
Correct.
Exact number?
Yes.
So that's expanding what you have currently, one court. So that would be expanding to 2 courts?
No, we have 2 courts there.
Okay.
Yes.
I
So the
did,
pictures are between the 2 courts together.
Yeah, I did talk with the attorney, just to clarify. She said it is within our guidelines to be able to do it too, so.
And happy to have you guys kind of go out and look at them if you want to table it till next month. That's completely your call as well. Or completely turn it down. It's up to you.
Well, I haven't seen those. I haven't played on those courts in 50 years, so, but those pictures are pretty
I'm
bad.
probably not gonna play on them if I'm in the future.
I won't be playing on it anytime either, Joe. I used to use them. They look pretty bad. Obviously, they need to be done, so.
So what's the board's pleasure?
Was your goal to redo it this summer or?
We would like to do it this year. Yes. It would be based on when we can get on the asphalt schedule. Kind of depends on theirs, but we've told them that we would, if this could go, that we would like to get it done this year.
Just in a casual mention by my grandson there, they apparently do get used a lot. Cause he said they tried to use them the other day and they were full, so they went to Dorner's Park. Got us
Oh, yeah.
there.
Circle Park's pretty full too, so it's definitely a recreation amenity.
I don't know, to back up what Eric's saying, we do get asked to spend an awful lot of money on Prairie Creek Park. And if we get started asking to do repairs for the TPA park, that could be a problem. But obviously these do need to be done. And are you telling us the city doesn't have it in their budget to pay for it?
Not something this year. I could go to the council and ask for an additional, or the mayor or the Parks Department, but it's not a budgeted line item at this time.
Okay.
I wanna kind of split hairs here again. Eric, what are you thinking on if it comes before the council.
I can't speak for 6 other people,
I
but
understand.
I can tell you that I do believe the process of going through the council would be very appropriate. See where we stand, see where we would consider shifting money. I mean, I'm not against, I mean, we got tons of things need to be fixed.
Oh,
up.
yeah.
I'm a little bit more aligned with what the RDC can use its money in the best possible means for.
Sure.
Which may free up some funds in the city that we could put on some specific projects. And that's probably how I would vote. I don't know how the rest of the council would be. I mean, sometimes additional appropriations fly right through, other times we are tight, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know exactly where we stand budget wise. I think we've got money in there.
We do, but we've got several things coming before us too. So,
Okay.
I'll tell you this, I go out there, I work out there 3 days a week and I've been out there. They're still functional. We work out and play. We don't play competitive full court, but it's still a functional court. There's not giant holes or anything that people can't avoid, at this point. I don't know that it's a critical need. It does need replaced at some point, but it's functional. So
let me
Just
ask
so you
you
know.
this, Kimberly. If we table this, can you go before the council and see if they can do an additional appropriation for you on
Oh, yeah.
this?
Mhm.
And then if something comes up there, it doesn't happen or something, come back to us.
Mhm.
Pull it off the table. Does that make sense for everybody?
Yes.
So I just, I'll entertain a motion on tabling.
I'll make that motion, table it till, let it be presented to the council and maybe bring it back to us if there's no action.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to table this until further notice from the council. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
Don't worry.
Suggest that have the mayor engage the parking committee. That way you got 3 people working on it ahead of the meeting.
We'll get with the councilmatic. Absolutely. And then
do you
does,
have anything else?
does anybody have any questions on the summer concert series since it's been all put together? And I know the last couple months has been kind of quiet till we get to that point. So. And then the other comment I'll make is I hope to start seeing everybody at Prairie Creek Park this summer. So we have a great lineup.
I do have one question.
Mhm.
I forget what the program's called where the restaurants that serve alcohol are gonna be able to buy cups.
Dora?
Dora.
Yeah, when's that gonna start?
So now that Nickel and Rye made their announcement, I am hoping to kind of get him into this first shuffle while I'm waiting on the state for approval. So hopefully getting them added. I've already talked to Brady and he's working on his application. And so once we get that through, I just need the stamp from the state. So
Anybody that wants to
He's-
participate needs to get an application in.
So there's 2 parts. There's a temporary permittee, which means like anybody that's a mobile bar can be down at Prairie Creek Park or somewhere else inside the Dora district. And then there's designated permittees, which are brick and mortar buildings within the Dora district. So I'm working on getting all of those put together and adding Brady's to it. So
So I guess, have you spoken with Pepe's?
yes,
That's not-
yes.
And I guess I'd be the only one that serves, the only other one that serves alcohol downtown, right?
Pepe's, Arnie's, Greeks.
I know that
Um,
Creeks does not serve alcohol presently.
Well, he has down that he. Okay.
Maybe he's gonna add it back. but
Yeah. And then Arnie's, Greg's, Pepe's,
There's that little
Nickel and
Mexican
Rye.
place.
And then there's a Juanita's.
Juanita's,
That's what
yeah.
that's what I was trying to come up
Yeah,
with. Juanita's.
okay.
So yep. And then the signage has to go up, which
Okay, well, I
we've
think that's a good
included
program,
that.
and hopefully everybody gets involved in it.
I'm excited. If they want to go to Arnie's first or Pepe's first or wherever and then come down to Prairie Creek Park, they can actually take their open container from that restaurant to Prairie Creek Park and then vice versa. So it'll be a nice way to hopefully generate revenue and business in the downtown district.
Is that gonna be like on the car shows? Is that gonna be available for that night too?
Mhm. Yep. So I'm hoping to get it started here shortly so we can all practice on like a Thursday Thunder or something like that. But yes, they'll be able to have that as an option.
Okay.
Yep. So I have little martini signage going up. So shortly. But other than that, I am going to escape and
Any questions for her?
I don't think I-
go to the scouting for
Thank you,
outing dinner.
Kimberly.
Yeah, no problem. Thank
Okay.
you.
Everybody have a chance to look at the claims?
Yeah, I have, the one from Bill Miller.
That's a facade grant.
Yeah, that's, okay, we're not talking facade grants, you're talking about claims. Yeah, the structure point and Reedy and,
Those are, Wanda, you want to try to explain that?
Yeah, and so Carol's here too. Structure Point is actually for the SS4 grant, and it was included in the budget originally, in the Reedy budget. So that's already been in there for that.
You got anything to add, Carol?
That was part of the ask, after last budget season where there were police cars, 6 firemen, and then the SS4A grant were added to the RDC budget.
That's one of the less glamorous.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. But it's a grant that Kimberly could speak to this much better than I can, but, it's a grant regarding safety for our streets. And it allows us to do signage, and once we have that established, it'll open the door for us to have the opportunity to apply for other grants.
I had a question about,
They've worked really hard on it.
Okay. If we ask you to speak again, I need you to come up here because we're being recorded.
Okay.
was the 51 West sod grant, was that one that was approved some time back?
Yes. Yes.
oh, it did.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the sods here in a second, so.
That one, yep.
Is there another one somewhere?
There's that. And there's about
Yeah, there's several claims tonight.
Those are all good.
The signatures there. One of these has a couple pages.
Okay.
Well, I'll make a motion. We approve the claims.
Second.
You have a motion and a second to accept the claims as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Claims passed. Okay, I'm gonna jump down to, while everybody's still signing the claims, jump down to facade grants.
Give us-
Have the one from, Mr. Miller, William Miller.
Yeah,
John, you want to take that?
he's taken the front of that location at 210 South Jackson back to the original way it what used to be. And Dave Cooper's doing the work. I got no problem with that.
Okay. And I didn't think Bud did either. He couldn't be here tonight, but he didn't seem to have any problem, so.
Where are we at on our budget? After we approve this, do we know how much we got left in? it for
I
the year?
will have that answer for you at the next meeting.
So I'll make a motion. We approve Bill Miller's claim for 210 South Jackson. It was a little over 13,000, I believe, and I think we pay half that.
I'll second that.
Yeah, let me verify the cost. This is actually the old Sears Automotive. It's 13,463. If
So
I'm
it'd make our
right here.
part 67 something.
Pardon?
Would make our share 67.
It'd be half of that, so. Okay, have a motion and a second to accept the facade grant for William Miller on, what is that, 210 South Jackson?
Yes.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Facade grant passes. Okay. I think that there's possibly one or two that might be getting ready to apply to on the facade grant, so I do need to find out the balance on that. Old business, I had on here, the business grants that
Yeah.
you and Jeremy was on.
Yeah,
Committee.
Jeremy and I did have a meeting this week with Kim Stevens and Dan Fry. And the two people who were applying for the grant, one of them being Brady Martin for the nickel and rye. And he put on an excellent presentation. He seems to have a lot of knowledge in what he's doing. Pretty high, I think, pretty high probability of being successful. And we basically asked him to proceed and present the formal over here for final approval. And then the other one was from Tammy Sheridan for a $5,000 grant. She put on a good presentation. She's got a little bit of work to do as far as what she wants to spend the 5,000 on. And we asked her to get us a list of what she's going to spend that on. I don't, maybe, board needs to talk about this. I don't think we should be buying inventory for these people. And I think that's one of the things she had originally thought she could get. So I told her, give
So
us
do we need to look at an amendment on that? Or you guys want to work on that with them?
Yeah,
next
I
time
thought
we
it
go
was in there that
it may be, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just,
We asked her to give us a list of what improvements she's going to make with that $5,000. And then it would be to where if we approve that, as she spends that, we will reimburse her for that.
I heard yesterday that her plans is to bring in men's clothing into that instead of just a woman's boutique.
Right.
It'll be men's and possibly tuxedo prom dress type
Yeah,
rental.
she's doing that. I think she
company.
wants to bring in some like gift items to sell and things like that. And, I said, I don't think we can do inventory.
But that was the part of her expanding her business. So. Okay. So with you two being on that committee, do we need to, they've already basically been approved, right? From you guys in the committee?
Basically verbally, yeah, we kind of.
Do we need to approve it through here so when they get ready to?
That'd be a question for the rest of the committee, I guess.
Yeah. Because they're gonna be coming in and asking for their monies. I don't mean this on your committee, you two being on that committee, needs to find out and make sure that it's held within the guidelines of that. If it's not, then you advise us when to pay her or whatever.
Yeah, that's what we told her. She needs to present us with a list of what she's going to spend that money on in order for us to give her a final approval.
It's my understanding you're on this group with other people from the main street. There's more than just you two, correct?
There's
So,
Kim Stevens and Dan Fry and Pat Day. Pat wasn't there. He couldn't make it. But
the way I understood it, we've already delegated the authority to you
Okay.
two, so.
And that's
Yeah,
kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything.
that's where we
this
left
board
off at.
needs.
We basically gave Brady Martin a verbal approval. And for Tammy Sheridan, we stipulated that she needs to give us a list of what she's going to spend that on.
Okay.
I think that's fair. Can I see those, Jeremy?
And I
Absolutely.
think on that 5,000 that she have to pay that back, and that the other part of where they pay back so much on that.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I was
On
just
the
asking.
20,000, he has to get a surety bond.
Right.
And we felt like that if he gets a surety bond, it doesn't need to be in monthly installments. It can be a lump sum.
Yeah.
And as far as the 5,000, the way that I understood it and the way we told her, as she spends that, we would reimburse her for what she has spent if it meets our criteria.
Okay, I wasn't sure of the guidelines on that, so that's why I was asking. Okay, let's just make sure that you two are the ones that's familiar with it. Make sure that everything goes the way you want it to go on that.
She had a couple other that we basically said no on. One of them was for the appliance store, Avery, for a sign, but we had already approved a facade grant for his sign.
That's right.
So I said, we're gonna leave it at that. And the other one was for a business above that, which I don't think is doable because I don't think you can put a business on the second floor.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that. I don't know. I would think that we'd have all kinds of ADA laws, yeah.
I would think you're right. So,
It was for like
It was a,
they were gonna do tattoos and
trying to find the name of it.
they were gonna do other things like tattoos.
Beauty and Ink Lounge.
Yeah,
So it's spa beauty.
Yeah. I wouldn't think you could get an occupancy permit for that.
I don't know.
I was hoping. to.
Suppose they could go through the hoops,
Yeah.
make sure that they're gonna be able to do it before they come to us.
That's kind of what we told Ken that they would need to,
So John, can I ask the question, who or what will be submitted for payment for me, for the checks? Is it coming through Main Street with some paperwork, or will you be presenting it here at a meeting, or how will I get?
did we spell that out, Joe? It's new and we're kind of,
That's fine. No,
No,
it's
but-
fine. And we
but
can talk about it later.
I would say, and this is just a suggestion for me and the rest of the board, can speak. I would think that our committee is the one, even though you're working with Main Street, you guys are the ones that come back and say they fulfilled their obligation, we can pay them.
Okay.
That way it's not somebody out of our loop. It's somebody from our board that's saying, yeah, they fulfilled their obligation.
and then they would just submit that to Wanda and Wanda
Yep,
would submit
and
it
then
to us,
Wanda
the
can-
claims.
The money's appropriated,
Okay.
so we're good there. But that's just my suggestion. That's Chris, Eric, whatever you think. So I just want to make sure that it's kept within since we're the money, it's kept within our guidelines here. So,
That seems doable.
is that good?
So is it similar to the facade grant where there's like a packet where there's some information that gets provided, like the documentation that's attached to the claim? Do you know what
but
I'm saying?
Well, they can give you probably the grant,
The grant
that is-
application?
the
Okay,
application.
perfect.
Yeah,
You need to keep that
Okay.
record anyway.
It's
And,
similar. They've got a worksheet they fill out.
Perfect. If
And,
I could just maybe have that as my documentation with signatures and then we'll
and
send it
some
through in a
receipts, I
claim.
would say.
Yes, perfect. Okay. Thank you.
I just want to make sure you got a paper trail
Must be
too on
yours.
your end.
That works. Thank you.
Okay, any more on the business grants? I think you've got another one or two coming.
Okay.
So I heard of one today that's from out of the area, but they're moving to Frankfurt downtown for business.
Okay.
That's all I know. So
Refresh my memory. This is within a geographical area, not just Main Street members.
no, this is in the downtown area. And yeah, that committee was formed. I don't remember if he was here, but they put on their presentation. Jeremy and John both volunteered to be on that part of the committee. It's the 5-people committee, but
I didn't
yeah,
see that on there.
I didn't either.
we're
We need to
budgeting
I just
for it.
couldn't say those members.
Yeah.
Like, to them.
No. Nope, this is, so. Any other questions?
But Jeremy just pointed out that it does say inventory on there. I don't think we should have put that on there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If that's the case, go back to the board,
Because
see
this
if
is-
you need to make an amendment to it. We can make an amendment to it.
Because this is to
So-
generate new business downtown and just to have somebody ask us for money to restock their business. I don't think that's what we're looking for. We want to fill storefronts and that's,
well, see what the procedure needs to be to,
Like Kim just
To
needs to
amend it.
redo that worksheet and take that off there. I don't think I don't recall approving that, but
or address that with her if you would.
okay.
So one or the both or whatever. So, okay. Next on mine I had, is this Prairie Creek Park. Both of these are from, Greg Miller with Board of Works contacted me and, I think I explained it last time, the gravel area. This will be in the northeast corner of the grassy area, but it's all that pea gravel that was supposed to have been, have a chemical in it that made it hard. That's all broke down. The estimate is to remove all of that and put in all concrete up there around them benches. There's some, grade issue that's been discussed on that, so that's gonna be in play there. But it's putting all of that area into concrete. She gave the specs on that. And then the other is all of the benches and, I think I tried to send everybody pictures at one point of them benches and stuff. The paints are all shot on it.
Yeah, I stopped and looked at them. They are shot.
This is also both of them estimates from Pastor Leo or the paint Leo. Is, also over, cause when we got over to the, splash pad, them benches over there and all that gondola over top, it's all the same way. The paint's all gone. So he gave a second estimate for that. That's power washing, scraping, cleaning, and then putting a different type of paint on it or stain or whatever it is that fills the cracks. So there's actually two estimates, but one is for the main benches in the main Prairie Creek Park. The other is for over by the splash pad. So again, we was trying to hopefully get all that done prior to the concert series. So I don't know I didn't even look to see when the first concert is.
May 29th.
Coming up, isn't it?
May 29th. They might be able to get it done before that then, so.
What was the cost on the concrete? Do we have that estimate?
Yeah, I think it's 81.
770.
Wow.
That's digging it out, removing it, and then bringing in. the new
Was that
one.
gravel? Did it ever harden from when they built it?
They've done it twice,
Really?
and both times the chemical failed.
Is there
But
any
it's out of
recourse
the
on that?
statute of limitations, or not limitations. I was going to the lawyer on that one. It's actually out of the warranty package, so it's on us now. We had a 1 year, and it was pretty good at that point, but
So it's just
it's broke
messy.
down.
Is that the concern?
it's ADA compliant. Problem is the problem.
Trip hazard.
Well, you can't get a wheelchair across it because it's going to sink into the pea gravel.
But there are other paths through there where you could get a wheelchair through. Right?
Up in that area, no. It goes over against the wall, the sidewalk that runs down along the creek side from the, I call it, beer garden, or not beer garden, but, ticket booth
Okay.
all the way down. That's all concrete. And it's a level that comes off of that sidewalk, but then it runs right into the pea gravel, and all that goes all the way over,
There's
probably towards the shelters over there.
there's no path other than that, huh?
No,
Okay.
it's all in that pea gravel. I think I may still have.
What's the junction boxes for? You're saying they got labor to install 3 junction boxes,
I don't know if they're putting in,
because we're RDC or the city's responsible for providing those. So I'm just curious.
yeah, I don't know if it's some type of plug system, plug-ins or whatever for the lighting or whatever over there.
Who drew up the specs for that project? Was that, Park Superintendent or?
He was involved, Greg Miller was involved, and Campos was involved in that. I met over there with Greg and or Mr. Miller and Christina Campos, but they're the ones that discussed the part about elevations, that kind of stuff over there. So and she should be, they should be getting on the inside of the event center. So
Which space is it?
it's all this, let's see. Yeah,
So
it's
this is
all this
grass.
area right in
This
here.
triangle,
Yes,
just that triangle,
yes.
it's $81,000.
Well, it's pretty good size. I mean, but
That sounds like a lot.
yeah, I mean,
I mean, you're removing what's there, you're fixing the subgrade. I get that.
I sent.
So the material, the beer garden is concrete.
No, it's pea gravel too, but that's not in the main problem as of right now. It's all that pea gravel. But this is mainly where the seatings are and stuff like that. They cannot get wheelchairs and stuff like that into that area. We can on the other end, but that's not being questioned right now.
So forgive me, I wasn't on the RDC for a long time.
No, that's fine.
Is Prairie Creek Park generally the RDC's baby for?
Yes.
Other
Yes.
than the manpower to run events? It's our baby as far as taking care of any maintenance.
We paid for it. We're still paying for it at 100%.
Okay.
The RDC is.
I mean, I'm okay with that with the proper agreement. I don't get me wrong. I realize, how that came to be.
See, all this is gravel, John, if you can see down through there.
Yeah, I was over there. I know around those benches that we need redone.
They set on
That's all
concrete,
gravel.
but
But,
So is there,
what?
that's a step to get
That's
up.
just a big walkway across there, or it's
Okay.
not even walkway, it's an edge.
so every bit of that gravel is gonna come out and it's gonna be concrete.
It will all come out and be concrete.
There's a lot of gravel there.
You ain't kidding. It's a pretty good size area, and I'll show you in a minute, Chris.
You're fine. I can visualize
You see it?
I just want to make sure which gravel area you're talking about.
So it's all this area. I think I counted, John, I called you. I think there's 14 of these benches.
There are, I said, I went over there and looked, there are a lot.
There's 14 of the benches, and they're not just these. There's some over on the other side. There's some back behind us
They're in
at
bad
that
shape.
one. So, yeah, it's quite a bit of an area for concrete. if you know
I
what I'm saying.
completely agree with getting those benches taken care of. We don't want anybody getting splinters and stuff. Having attended several of those concerts up there this last summer, I guess I would have to ask, can we get by one more season with the gravel? And, because it sounds like not many of us has actually went over there and looked at the condition of it to decide if that's worth spending 81 grand on.
We can do that.
We haven't got an ADA hit, right? I mean, there's enough.
I don't believe so. I'm just going by,
So there's enough other spaces for wheelchair capable people to get through.
I'm going by what Mr. Miller was talking about. Mr. Greg Miller was that it is not ADA compliance. It needs to be. He didn't say anything of whether there was somebody questioning it or not. We can go ahead and let's get the painting going. And I will go back to the Board of Works and ask them about that. If that makes sense.
Do we have money in our sidewalk fund?
We do, because we haven't poured anything and there was a project that we were looking at doing this year that I put a hold on, not knowing. And we have basically $100,000.
So we could use the sidewalk money for that.
We can and we would. So. The money's there, but it stops any other sidewalk projects that we do, you know, on a, whether it be a block or whatever, so.
I don't want to act like I don't trust Greg on this. I wish we'd get, you know, a report of bona fide, hey, ADA compliance has to be done kind of thing, other than wish list. I just worry about us spending all that money all of a sudden.
I don't know, I mean, ADA's been around a long time, but it's a lot more active now, I guess is the way to put it. As far as,
I'll be honest, I don't get it. I don't get why some things are okay
Why-
the way they are and other things absolutely have to be redone.
I think the way I understand that law, basically, doesn't it come down to like a citizen filing a formal complaint before they even look at it? Because they don't go, there's no ADA police out there that I know of, are there?
And this is not restrictive. This is not saying someone can't use the park because it's not concrete in that.
They can
one.
still get through there, just be a little more difficult, I would think.
They're just not gonna be able to sit on those benches.
well,
Wheel.
the problem is it's gonna be, let's face it, it's probably gonna be more wheelchair or motor chair accessibility than it is in walkers or anything like that, so.
So is there a step all the way around it to get up to that area?
It's level in one area.
Okay.
They can come up and get in there, and it's gonna be over on the east side where that point is over
Okay.
in there. There's an east area right there. The rest of it, yes, it has a
A ledge.
18 to 24 inch ledge there, you know, so.
Let me get one thing out of the way, then we can talk about that. I'll make a motion to accept the bid on the bench repair and painting.
Okay, and that's also covered in the splash pad. Okay,
I'll
which
second that.
amounts to, one of the estimates is 2,700. The other one is 3,850. Wanda. So that's a total of what? 560, yeah, 6550, so. Okay, I have a motion and a second to proceed with the painting part of it. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, we got that, so. And then if you want, let's just table the concrete estimate right now until I get more information from the Board of Works.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
I think so.
So I'll entertain a motion on that.
I'll make a motion to table the concrete work at Prairie Creek Park.
Till further information. So,
Yeah.
okay, I hear a second.
I'll second that and just ask that, with that level of commitment, we also get a second, estimate.
Estimate, okay.
You know, I'm not worried about $8,000 worth of painting, but 80,000.
Yep, okay. Take a note on that. So, okay, I have a motion and a second, and then a request for a second estimate. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Eric, did you want to see any of this stuff from Nickel and Ryan?
No, I got what you guys said. I agree with that inventory issue.
Okay, any other old business?
Well, we had talked last meeting about expanding the area where we can give facade grants. Did we want to, what do we want to do on that?
What was that again?
We had talked about expanding the area as far as.
Oh,
who can
yeah,
receive, because there's like,
we we have to have a
post
special.
office isn't in our area. The old police, the police station post office, that's not in our current area, correct?
Right,
It ends
right.
at Columbia Street. So to take that,
Well-
we have to expand that.
We do. Yeah, well, Mac Machine's in our area and I need to advise you on that, but we'll do that here in a minute I guess I'll do it under new business. Yeah, I was working with Alicia because we have to have another special session on that or, the special meeting on that, work session's what I was trying to think of. But, that being said, she gave me some dates, but with everything that's been going on between the police station and the Mac Machine building and, some of that, I just haven't had time to set up the work session.
Okay.
Again, I have been looking at some areas that, I think that we need to expand to, but, again, till we have a work session, everybody lay out kind of their decisions.
I would
We'll go
add
from
to
there.
that, We won the grant, the Okra grant on the comp plan
Okay.
and expansion of boundaries for things such as tip. That will be part of the discussion, although the council is only signing off on what the RDC suggests. We talked about a kind of a holistic approach to those development opportunities, knowing how much money is involved in expanding the TIF area. I guess I would ask the question, is there an urgency on, you talk about facade grants and, this old police station, post office thing's booming. Is there enough time to wrap this into a full discussion? We're talking about a 6-month period of time on this comp plan. Is that too long to wait for this other issue? And I only ask that because I think we all know how expensive it is to change those maps. I think that's a Rich Starkey thing and a Reedy thing. And
I don't think it's a big hurry. From us, it's nothing. The police station we can take into the RDC without it being in our district.
Okay, that was my
We know
question.
that. Yeah, no, that is.
Okay, then
Yeah, they've approved the counselors has both approved it's within our guidelines to take it.
okay, then
Okay.
I don't think there is a rush. If
There
we
was
can-
also the question is we actually can go out of our district as long as it's not trying to jump across town. That we can go a little bit out of our district and still pick up a property.
Okay.
The problem, right now is the timing on trying to get the police station taken care of between, and I know we talked about this earlier, was the council has to do their thing and give it to us. We at some point have to meet to accept it and take both of these are resolutions. So once we do our resolution, then we still won't have full control, but we will. It's given to us, but then the deed and all that's got to be changed over to the redevelopment commission, the paperwork to get it done. The problem is the other gentleman that wanted to put on the presentation and for public record is, he has another possibility of going a different direction. He really wants to stay here in Frankfurt. So, and his timing is that we need to let him put his presentation into place sometime in the month of May to do that. And there's, so we'll have him here, let him do his presentation and then go from there. Mac Machine, I talked to Alicia yesterday on that, and her and the owner of that property are working out minor details on the back taxes and this. He asked for 2 months of being able to get his stuff out of the property, so we're looking at. I told her that if we're going to do that, he keeps that for that 2 months to get his stuff out, and then we don't close on it till he's done. That way he can't go in and tear the building up and we have it, So these are the minor details that's being worked out right now for that. So I think that's up to speed on all of that. I still think we need to have some work sessions so we can pre-plan maybe where we want to lay our boundaries, but it doesn't have to be put in black and white right that second, you know? So anybody got any other suggestions or questions on it?
Eric, is that something we could throw into that comprehensive plan for the city?
Yeah, I mean,
So-
when we were talking about setting that up, we had planned for the USB and the RDC to be intimately involved in that.
Okay. I think that's.
Yeah, and I think that we were asked, or I asked too, if there's a good chance that we could at least have a chapter in it.
Yeah, we
and I
could,
was said that we
that'll save us
could.
some money, you know, if
It will.
we don't have to pay a lot of attorney fees.
So that's part of it. And we will have to probably have our work sessions prior to that going down,
Okay.
you know, but it, like Gary or Eric said, it's gonna take a little bit of time before that even happens, so. Okay. Any new business? I should have stayed in any old business that we want to discuss again, but, any new business?
Going back to the old business, I wanted to ask a question on this.
Okay.
Last year, I remember a presentation asking for the ADA or the sign, not ADA maybe, but the assisted lights or whatever they were doing for the crosswalk there at Prairie Creek.
That crossing was passed, and I think we only went to one crossing. They were asking for two.
So has
And,
that,
and the park was working on, I believe the park is the one that was working on them cross lights.
okay, so we were,
So,
I didn't know, I hadn't seen anything come through. I
Yeah.
didn't know if reading some of that, the first two things there, I didn't know if that was tied to it.
no,
just-
this was not, I
Okay.
don't think.
I just
Uh,
saw some corners, street corner names, and that's why I was kind of curious.
But I'll find out for you. on that. I'm guessing, if I'm purely guessing, it's so the park will have more plugs up in there where they can put their Christmas decorations and stuff like that. Have a place to plug in, would be my guess. So. Cause they take care of all the decorating in the park there.
At least we don't have to go out and hang lights among the five of us.
Yeah. Begin to think that might come be a possibility down the road, but,
As long as I don't have to get on a ladder. I don't do
Okay.
ladders.
Anything else? Call the meeting adjourned then. Thanks, everybody. And we will meet on, let's just plan on May 20th at
May 20th, I
5:30.
got you on my calendar.
I gotta sign this.
Yeah, me too. I'll let you go ahead, Eric.